That was a great roundup of the personality and multiple facets of Dr. Arul, beautifully captured by our students. May I call upon our students, Manas Kumar Gupta, Joydeep Chatterjee, Khalid bin Rahim, and Umar Ashraf, who worked constantly behind the scenes. So may I request all of you to give a big round of applause to them. Thank you. It is our pleasure to welcome Dr. Biswas, the Registrar of Presidency University, Samina, the HR Head, and Arun. Arul, sir, we've got a surprise for you.
Hi, Daddy. I'm told that you're finally retiring. I think this is probably the 6th attempt that you have made at retiring, and I hope that this is the final one. And I hope that with this, you finally get some much needed and well deserved rest and manage to stay connected with whatever it is that you enjoyed on your subject through some reading and reflection, and hopefully putting it also in practice. I remember, if I think about your career, the first memory I have was when you had taken us to a management development program in Ahmedabad, where you had some middle-aged participants stand up and walk around with their hands open. And at that time, it sounded or seemed as if you had a career in fun and games and not really in serious academia. What I learned over time, of course, was that you did have a very serious academic career and one that you had worked extremely hard to build. What I also remember is that in the years that you pursued your PhD, you worked a lot of late nights, you worked a lot of weekends, and you had a very single-minded focus, which is something I have learned a lot from. As a father, and this is to the rest of you listening, he was very, very strong in ensuring that we had an independent thought process and we maintained our individuality. Of course, this meant that we got into a lot of debates and arguments, which was also a lot of fun. It is this banter that I value the most in my relationship with him, and I hope this continues.
Okay, may I request everyone to give a standing ovation to Dr. Arul? Kindly be seated. Thank you. In any event, the nucleus revolves around a great leader, a man of humility, lofty vision, a sagacious leader, a humane personality, and a wonderful human being. This aptly fits the definition of our beloved Chairman Sir, who has been a principal driving force behind the entire program. We thank you, sir, for having conceived the idea of felicitating our beloved former director, Dr. Arul. May we now request you to share a few thoughts. Please, sir.
evening to all of you. It gives me an immense pleasure to be a part of this memorable occasion. We have all gathered to felicitate Dr. Arul, a former director of Presidency B School. Dr. Arul has not only been the director of our B School, but also a good friend and a well-wisher of mine. I was accompanied by Dr. Vidya Shetty and remember visiting Dr. Arul at Bombay. That was a year 2003. He was working in SPJ in Mumbai. We met him there. He was very hospitable and showed us around the institution and also took us to his residence, which was on the campus. We could see his passion, commitment, involvement even then, and we were assured that he would be the right person to lead our B school. He proved us right and took the presidency to greater heights. He rightly deserves the credit for the excellent leadership demonstrated in leading and directing the Presidency B School. A strict disciplinarian that he is, he created an aura of discipline among the students, faculty, ushered in strong academic rigor in business school. I sincerely appreciate his efforts in setting up an unparalleled president and in raising the bar of our institution of management. I recall the time he took over in 2004. We had about 60 students in the batch, and he disqualified almost 40 of them for shortage of attendance. It created a huge uproar, leading to strikes by the students, and I started getting calls from the Vice Chancellor, the government secretaries, calls from Education Minister's office, from Chief Minister's office. In addition, the students started garrowing me in the campus. I appealed to Dr. Arul to reconsider his decision, given that this is the first instance of our imposing such a penalty for shortage of attendance. He stood his ground and said either to accept his resignation or support him in his decision. I stood by Dr. Arul, and that was a real turning point for Presidency B School. This stand of Dr. Arul had such an impact that even today the students shudder to see their attendance go below 75%. This really helped putting the students in line with decorum expected of them. Sincerity, honesty, high moral values, integrity has been the defining qualities of this great academician on whose hands the business school flourished undoubtedly. This was evident in a way he handled the affairs of the business school without fear or favor. Even on the most stressful and uneasy situation, he was always forthright and frank in handling the matters upfront, resolving the issue, be it internal or with the university or any other stakeholder. In short, a no-nonsense leader who commanded a lot of respect from among the students, faculty, colleagues, top officials of the university, and the management. Thank you, Dr. Arul, for taking the business school into such a great heights and being bracketed among the top B schools of Bangalore. We would have allowed you to continue with us. However, at the same time, we respect your personal commitments on account of which you have chosen to call it a day. However, we would still request you to associate with us in whichever capacity you can, so that we continue to receive your guidance. On behalf of the management, faculty, students, and the group, I wish to honor you and wish you well. You are indeed a pillar of strength to me over the years and wish you continue to remain the same. I would like to make a special mention of Mrs. Arul, who also stood by presidency at times when Dr. Arul was contemplating on leaving the group, and it was quite a few occasions. She is the one who prevailed upon Dr. Arul to continue. Thank you, ma'am. And we are happy to have you with us tonight. We pray to God Almighty to bless you both with peaceful life and healthy life. My greetings and good wishes to you and your family. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I request once again to come to the stage and felicitate Dr. Arul. On behalf of Center for Management Studies, may I request our director, Dr. Radha ma'am, to present a memento as a token of affection. Please, Radha ma'am. I would like to all the staff of MBA to kindly come to the stage, please. Radha ma'am and everyone, I'm sure there will be many hearts longing to share their good memories and recall their wonderful experiences during their association with Dr. Arul. May I request Dr. Chandan sir to please come.
Respected Arul sir, the hero of today's function, very happy to see you, sir. Our beloved chairman, my senior faculty members, and my dear students. It's really a privilege to share my experiences with Arul sir. In fact, my experience goes back to the first interaction when chairman sir introduced Arul sir to me. I was called and we had an interaction. I had recently finished my doctorate and I came to the premises and there was an interview and it got over. Chairman sir introduced me to Arul sir. So when I interacted with him, the moment I had a look at him, I felt like he's so simple and very straight. I was coming from a ICFI background where the institute normally works on a corporate front. But when I came here and when I started interacting and started digging about his information in terms of his experiences, where all he stayed and all, I was zapped. And then I felt like he's a person where definitely I can look forward to learn something. And then afterwards, when I was inducted into the system, we had a lot of discussions about several things. It may be principles, it may be about the perspectives of management, the way he used to handle in various colleges, maybe some tips for me. And always he used to say like, I did a mistake of not writing papers. You all should not follow it. You should keep on producing papers. From there, I also started feeling that we have to break our heads or put our hands into research papers because that is also the need of the hour. And maybe, I started working on those papers and all. In fact, for the two papers he had co-authored, which got selected for IIM Ahmedabad, And the recent paper where we collaborated together, that was awarded as the best paper award from IIM Ahmedabad, which is very prestigious. Credit goes to Arul sir. Maybe, like he guided me when we were writing this paper. And it was also presented in our VAS session where some inputs were shared by senior faculties and those things were taken care of. And maybe at the end, the result was good. So if I just recollect about my experiences, he's a man who is so simple, straightforward, very much ethical. I always used to interact with him. I have spent a lot of time. I am very grateful for that because I have spent maximum time with him in terms of listening, understanding the various perspectives which are required for life as well as for for our careers. I thank you very much, sir. I had a very wonderful association with you. You are truly inspirational, and I thank Chairman sir for identifying such people and putting us in front of us so that as juniors we end up learning, and maybe because of that, maybe we'll have a good life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chandan sir. May I now request Professor Shivanandan sir to please come.
Good evening, Dr. Arul, Chairman, and my dear friends. There are two things common between me and Arul. Both of us were born in the same year. Okay, he's 3 months elder to me, so I call him elder brother. Okay, and he also retired. I also retired from presidency, but not from my teaching academic. I am having the passion for teaching, much against my wishes of my children. After I had a bypass surgery, don't go there, it's enough. Because both of us are 71, 71 years working is enough, and I overworked. I was teaching more than the regular faculties because I take 6 hours a day. For 6 days, 36 hours. It is not expected to be done by a person with 70 years old. But God said, you are not listening, so have a bypass. But I told them at least 3 days a week I will teach. My children agreed for that. So I am now teaching 3 days a week. But I come for lunch home. There's another condition they put. And they told me not to drive the car myself. So I got a driver who picks me up. My first meeting with Dr. Arul was based on the punctuality. Okay. I was teaching earlier to Dr. Arul in this college. Dr. Radha ma'am is here. She was the principal. Afterwards, he was asked to meet me on a holiday. So we said 10 o'clock. So I was here at 9:50. He was also there at 9:50. But both of us were sitting but not knowing each other because we were not seen before. At 10, when it comes to 10, he said, are you Professor Shivanandam? I said, are you Dr. Arul? Yeah. We met. So that's the one which made us to feel that punctuality. I always say I've been teaching in many institutions in Bangalore, including IIM Bangalore. I forgot, yes. I was teaching in many institutions, including IIM. First thing I tell my students, 9 o'clock class is 9 o'clock. 9:01, don't enter. If I enter, please spit on my face. So the IIM fellows are a little haughty because they got some horns in the head. Cats were all dogs. So they went and told the director he is very strict. So once I was teaching, director was coming with students, they were all murmuring that he is going to advise me not to be strict. I was wondering what should I do if he says that. I must give respect for the chair, the director of IIM. Suddenly entered and said, are you Professor Shivanandam? Yes. I believe you don't allow students coming late. Applicable to me also, sir. I want to meet such people in person. That's why I came from a room. Please keep it up, Professor. My 500% support is with you. If a manager cannot keep up time, he is not fit to be a manager. All the students' face got deflated. This is one which is common in me. Once I saw his table, a little clumsy. So I told him, you are so good, but you are not keeping the table and the books in a proper way. What should I do? He said, I am trained in 5 years housekeeping in Japan. I'll put my students to study in your office. They'll rectify, for which he agreed. Rohini ma'am, all these people are veteran people. His whole room was cleaned up. and it looked much better than what it was, and for which he was very grateful to me. He said it can do wonders in many places. So there is a saying in management, vision without action is a mere dream. Action without vision passes the time. But vision with action can change the future. So that's the way which he worked for the institution, and he never bothered about time. So it's not like going at 4:30 or 5 o'clock as soon as the siren rings. We can take a chance and we can meet him up to 6:30, 7 o'clock. Beyond the working hours, he used to work, and more or less we